Oh my God.
Hey everybody, John Craig here with Performance Plus Tennis. If you're like most tennis players, we want to hit that big, hard, flat serve. It's very impressive. Hopefully we can get winners off of it. Today we're going to cover everything you need to know about the flat serve, and you're going to be surprised by a couple things that I'm going to reveal in this video. They're going to help your serve become a much better performing shot in your tennis game. So let's begin by just presenting what a flat serve is. And in the simplest terms, a flat serve is simply a serve that has no spin. The ball is traveling but has no spin on it. And that's pretty common amongst beginning tennis players who are serving with forehand grips. The racket strings are flat on the ball, and we come up and the ball is literally flat. Okay? And initially we think that this is helpful because 100% of the racketed speed is producing all of the ball speed. So we're able to generate some power right away, and we also feel that we can direct the ball easily by having the strings point to the target. So again, a flat serve is a serve simply stated that doesn't have any spin. So 100% of the speed of the racket is producing the speed on the ball. So if the flat serve is easy to send towards a target because the strings are facing the target, and it's easy to generate power because the racket head speed is related directly to the ball speed, what's the big challenge with it? Well, it's really quite simple. The people that invented tennis were very smart, and they made the dimensions of the court and the height of the net such that it's difficult to have consistency on your serve unless you have skill, and that skill is really spin. And for example, if we look at the court from your perspective here, and I'm standing here, I never see a ball land in the court by looking over the net. If it's a ground stroke, I see it bouncing in the court. It's bouncing in the court. I'm always seeing it bounce looking through the net. And of course, the same is true with the serve. So with that perspective in mind, if I were to take the windscreen off the back fence and drape it over the net so that the net itself, you couldn't see through it, you'd never see a ball bounce in the court. Whether it's a serve or ground stroke, whatever it is, you'd never see it bounce from the baseline. Okay, so let's take that perspective in mind now, and let's put the racket up here at the contact point of my serve, and imagine that my eyes are here now. My eyes are up there, okay? Could I look over the net and down in the service box from that contact point? And the answer is no, okay? You'd have to be 6'7", close to 6'7", on contact in order to do that. So if we look at it from a different perspective, my racket is going to be the court. We've got a baseline, I got a baseline, I've got a net, okay? If you're serving, your ball cannot travel in a perfect straight line, clear the net, and land in the box. It has to have some degree of arc on it. And there's two things that make a ball arc: gravity and spin. So if you're trying to hit flat serves all the time, hard flat serves, and you're struggling to get a good serve percentage, you're just fighting dimensions of the court that are going to defeat you. So you've got to learn how to skillfully get spin on your ball, okay? Now, does it mean you can't hit flat serves periodically? And some days you might have a day where it just seems like no matter what you do, you can hit it any old way and it just seems to go in. But then you have other days where your consistency is very compromised because you're trying to hit hard flat serves. So the real solution is to not really think about hitting flat serves, but instead learn how to blend together spin and ball speed by having the correct technique and movement in your serve so that you can add or take away spin along with placements and so forth to make your serve very, very consistent and very effective. So how do we hit a flat serve? And of course, if you're a player that's serving with a forehand grip, that's pretty natural to do. In fact, it's unnatural to try to do much else, really. So when you've got the forehand grip, the strings face the target, it goes flat straight on out. But if you're using a continental grip, it's a little bit more complicated to do that, and you have to have the technique of long axis rotation or pronation in your serve to do that. So for example, when I'm hitting a flat serve with a continental grip, my racket is approaching the ball on edge, but as I get up to the ball, my racket turns into the ball and squares up on it. So I'll hit a flat serve with my continental grip there. Pretty flat, a little bit of spin on there because the ball placement was a little bit to the right. But for the most part, that's pretty flat. Now, the reality is I do teach that technique. I do teach the flat serve with the continental grip because I'm really trying to activate in my students that long axis rotation skill that needs to happen with the continental grip to get the racket head to the ball. So you definitely want to learn how to skillfully do that with a long axis rotation. And I do cover that in several other videos here on the channel. So when you're done with this video, go ahead and check those out and that'll help you as well. So one key element to hitting a flat serve is really having the ball placed properly. Because if I place the ball, for example, off to the right, and I have to chase the ball off to the right, even a few inches, I'm going to end up spinning the ball and slicing it. So the ball has to be right inside the shoulder. So my racket's coming right through from behind the shoulder, inside the shoulder, and comes right up and attacks it right in that area. It has to be there. If it's not there, I won't get it. I will slice it. Now that's a flat slice. So there was a blend there of racket head speed that produced ball speed and spin, which in reality is what I want you to do. And you'll probably end up doing that more often than not if you have your continental grip, because it is difficult to hit a pure flat serve with a continental grip. But if you're going to try to do it, you've got to make sure that it's right inside the shoulder there when you come up and square right on it, right in that area. If it's further off to the right, you're going to slice it. If it's further off to the left, you're more than likely going to have to come up on the ball and you'll end up hitting a variation of a top spin serve. Of course, the risks of hitting a flat serve nice and hard in the court are quite high, but the rewards can be quite high because we're fascinated by ball speed and we want to get that ball to travel as quickly as possible, take time away from the returner, and hopefully produce an error or weak return that we can then capitalize on. So understanding that, yes, we do want to hit that ball with as much speed as we possibly can, but really, if you're trying to get a high percentage of serves in the box, you definitely have got to spin it. And you have to learn the skill of spin. For the reason I cited earlier, there's only two things that bring a ball down in the box. First is gravity. And if you have to hit a second serve and you have to rely on gravity, it's very difficult, especially under pressure, to measure how much trajectory, ball speed, other variables like wind and so forth, to get the gravity to bring the ball down in. And of course, to do that, you're not going to be able to hit a very offensive serve with much confidence. So you're going to end up poking it in there, and then a skillful opponent is going to take advantage of that right away. So you've really got to learn how to hit spin on your serve in order to have consistency and confidence in your serve, particularly on your second serve. So what I recommend is that if you're having an unbelievable day where it seems like no matter how you place the ball or whatever you do, that flat serve is going in, go for it, have fun with it, but don't expect that to be there for you every single day because it's probably not going to be there. What I recommend you do is hit your first serve with the intention of having some spin on it. And I like to hit what's called a flat slice. And the reason I like to hit a flat slice is because it's easy for me to change the ratio of speed and spin. So oftentimes I'll have my students say, give me an 80-20. And that means that 80% of my racket head speed will produce ball speed, 20% will give me spin. If I can get an 80-20, I can blend together speed and spin and establish consistency. What brought that ball down in the court was not gravity. What brought that ball down in the court was the spin that I applied. So when you're hitting a slice, it's easy to change that ratio of speed and spin and just keep your racket head speed up. So the other key thing here too is, so for example, if I missed my first serve trying to execute this flat slice, it's very easy for me to make the adjustment to get my second serve in the box because I'm really not trying to change that much. I'm just trying to make a subtle adjustment. But if you try to hit a hard flat serve in the box and you miss it, you're much more inclined to go, oh my gosh, I got to get this one in, and you'll relate that sort of a flat concept to your second serve. So hitting your first serve with spin and the technique that you want helps you improve your second serve and helps you make the adjustment from a missed first serve to a successful second serve as well. So of course we see professional players hitting hard serves all the time. And Ben Shelton hit the serve recently 149 miles an hour. But Ben Shelton's 6'4", 6'5", and he launches himself up. So basically he's like 7'4", 7'5" when he's making contact. So he increases his margin over that net. He can still get it down in the box. He's a professional athlete, tall, powerful, gets tremendous height on the serve. So he's able to hit that serve harder and flatter and still get a high percentage of serves in. For most recreational players, that's not realistic. We've got to stay into what is realistic for us, and that means we've got to apply spin to our ball. And I would go with a flat slice for your first serve and an increased slice or a topspin for your second serve. Thanks so much for watching today's lesson, and I hope this lesson today really helps you understand not only the risks but also the rewards of a flat serve, but also encourages you to really try to work on improving your serve performance with consistency and accuracy rather than sheer power. And understanding that the dimensions of the court do not allow you to just wail on the ball, hitting flat and hard, and getting a high percentage of serves in the box. Thanks so much for watching the video. Please give us a like, leave your comments down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. And be sure to check out the playlist here on my channel that covers so many details on the serve. And then finally, if you'd like me to help you on your journey to developing a professional quality serve, click on the link in the description down below, and you can submit a video for me to review, and I can help you identify the things you need to work on to really get your serve developed and develop that serve that you really want to have and achieve your full potential in your tennis game. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next lesson.